Yo, what is up everybody, and welcome back to yet again another daily update video. My name is CryptoStash. I hope you're having an amazing week. It is currently Thursday and Bitcoin is right now, as you can see, the bear trap that we've talked in my previous video right here, that fake out from that weekly pivot. We did not actually hit that value area low that we were talking about, or even the weekly support one, as you can see. But Bitcoin, as I said, is created that possible fake out and is right now pushing back above that weekly pivot point. So the bear trap was real, as I said, in my opinion, that everyone yesterday that shorted here got trapped, and currently the price is once again going to the upside, back above our weekly pivot. So it's currently back above a very important support. As you can see, our weekly pivot has the most confluence for the price, and right now if we manage to hold above it, then we can probably see higher price targets. And also if we look at Ethereum, guys, Ethereum is currently pushing very strong. As I said in my previous video, if the Bitcoin dominance falls, as you can see, we got that perfect rejection right here from our weekly pivot, and it kept falling, and Ethereum got a very big move to the upside, perfectly hitting that second weekly pivot resistance, almost 2800. So we actually did break above that previous range, as you can see right here. Basically this was acting as resistance, and we managed to push above it. But as you can see, we also have confluence from that weekly pivot resistance, so basically still a very strong resistance. So we need some time, in my opinion, for Ethereum to break above it and then maybe test that golden pocket right here, which is also perfectly aligning with our last weekly pivot resistance 3, which is $3,100 basically. And this is my next target for ETH, so that would be a 15% push to the upside basically. So other altcoins, as you can see, not doing so great as Ethereum. So right now, while the Bitcoin dominance is falling, most of that money is going right into Ethereum. So Ethereum, which was very neglected basically, and everybody was bearish, very bearish at the bottoms of Ethereum. Ethereum is right now squeezing all of these short sellers basically, and it will soon go parabolic with no retrace to the downside basically. So it won't give any opportunities to the people to long again. So in my opinion, it's very possible that we see a major push, like 15 or maybe even another 30% to that 0786 Fibonacci, which basically 3500 is a very realistic target, in my opinion. That we've got only about 30% to go up there. As you can see on the daily time frame, our daily RSI was very oversold, but during this chop, as I said, the RSI indicator perfectly cooled off, and right now it has very much more move to the upside until we get overbought again, I mean. So as I said, I'm expecting another possible big move for Ethereum to the upside. So altcoins will soon explode, guys. Basically, if you wanted to short altcoins, you should have done so during this big dump that we've had for about, if we measure from the top, with 78 days, so basically almost 3 months, we've had that dump, that downtrend basically, and you should have been shorting here or here, but right now we are still in that uptrend. So if we get bigger pullbacks, then what you should be doing is you should be longing, since we've already had that major dump. We've been going down for almost 3 months, so basically the whole first quarter of the year we've been going down for the altcoins. Also Bitcoin right now, as you can see, we've had that move to the downside basically, almost 3 months once again, like the altcoins. So right now on every pullback you should be going long and not looking for that short. It is possible that Bitcoin retraces more, as I said, so you should not be getting over leveraged at these highs right here, but you should be considering longing like the pivot supports basically. every time that we get a move down, it should be a long. So in my opinion, this uptrend will still keep us going to the upside for potentially hard price targets at around 123,000. And also if we look at our open interest, we did for Bitcoin get that move. As you can see, our CVD and our open interest, they were also going up. We did manage to liquidate some late. As you can see, this week was basically manipulation, and we did liquidate that short long traders right here. If we also look at our liquidation heat map, currently most of the liquidity is sitting once again to the upside. As you can see, after that dip yesterday and that fake out to the downside, basically this bear trap, we did take out most of that liquidity to the downside, and currently we do have more liquidity to the upside. Also, our Bitcoin ETF flows is once again getting over 400 million of inflows. So as you can see, it's a very steady growth for the Bitcoin ETF, which is very bullish in my opinion. As I said, also if we look at the long to short ratio, we currently do have more sellers, but as I said yesterday, this is a bear trap in my opinion, and as you can see, the sellers are getting absorbed. I even made a box right here. If we look at the last video, here we have buyers sitting, but it did not even, the price did not even get down there. It just held that weekly pivot. As you can see, it was basically just a fake out. As I talked in my video, I said it's possible. If we do not close these candles below, then we can get back above that weekly pivot, and this is exactly what happened, guys. As you can see, we're currently trying to get back above that weekly pivot. Also, the stock market is also doing very well. As you can see, it's trying to reclaim that trend line basically that we lost. So right now it's currently struggling once again at a pivot resistance, basically 5,987 for the S&P 500 is a major resistance. So currently we are actually kind of holding above it, but maybe we do get some kind of a move down for the stock market, and then we can look for that $6,000 range for the S&P 500 basically. And then, as I said, I'm expecting if the stock market continues that move to the upside, then Bitcoin will also follow, as I said. So Bitcoin right now, it has to take once again our value area high, so it basically needs to move back up to this level and see a stronger push maybe to our second weekly pivot resistance or our first one, and it needs to break above it, so then it can flip that value area high as support. So basically it can do something like this. That's my scenario right now. So I'm expecting this to happen. It's very possible. Also, if we look at some other altcoins, for example, Sui is currently under that weekly pivot. As you can see, currently acting as strong resistance. Also, our RSI momentum, it does perfectly bounce from our 20 line. So if you were looking for long trades, basically you need to follow that RSI 20 line. Once we get here, it's very like almost 90% of the time price gets a push to the upside once the RSI gets down to the 20 line. And then as you can see, we are now above the 50 line, and our next target for the RSI will be that 80 line, and then maybe we can look for something like a bigger cool off. But as of right now, Sui also looking pretty good. Also Solana, as I said, currently the same as Sui, below that weekly pivot, currently above that POC of the range. So Solana also needs to reclaim that weekly pivot for a more continuation to the upside basically. So also if we look at the Bitcoin dominance once again, Bitcoin dominance currently also found a support at our weekly pivot support, like the second one, 63% basically. As you can see, a perfect bounce. So I'm expecting once again, hoping for a rejection right here, and then we move down like this. So if this continues to the downside, Ethereum will have a very easy time hitting these targets. Basically 3100 will be nothing for Ethereum if the Bitcoin dominance continues to drop, as I said in the previous videos. So the altcoins right now, it's very possible that we are finally going to see that old season. If the stock market, if everything falls into place, as I said, the stock market needs to continue going up, grinding slowly to the upside basically, without bigger corrections. So Bitcoin, even if Bitcoin does not get a big push to the upside and just continues to range, as long as you can see Bitcoin has not had a major move, but since the Bitcoin dominance is falling, that means money is flowing into the altcoins, and Ethereum is right now the hottest altcoin, in my opinion, that we can look for buys, because it's very oversold, and everybody is just shorting Ethereum. Everybody is very skeptical, so every one of these single sellers will get squeezed, in my opinion. So price can maybe get a crazy god candle, as we did right here. If we look, for example, at the weekly is currently looking very strong for Ethereum. So basically this candle was a move of 50%. If we get another candle like this, 50%, this will take us basically to almost 4k for Ethereum. So keep your eyes on Ethereum right now. Basically it's very, as I said, a lot of sellers, everyone is skeptical about Ethereum. So Ethereum will prove everybody wrong, as it will get to that all-time highs very soon. As you can see, as long as I said, if the stock market continues to grind to the upside and maybe to the all-time highs once again, then Bitcoin will follow and the altcoins will also continue to the upside. And I'm expecting, as I said, that Bitcoin dominance to make another major drop like it did here. So currently this drop has started, so we just need a continuation. So we need money to start flowing into these altcoins, then we can see Bitcoin dominance dropping, guys. And this will be it for today's update video. I hope you liked it. Subscribe for the channel, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye.